SDG Bible Study. That's the Soli Deo Glory Bible Study coming to you on this Saturday morning, March the 21st, 2026. Hope everyone is doing well, ready for the weekend, and ready for the reading of God's Word this morning as we continue reading from As It Happened, a one-year walk through Scripture and Daily Doctrine, a one-year guide to systematic theology. So join me this morning as we read Deuteronomy chapters 30 and 31. Join me as we read together. Deuteronomy chapter 30. So it will be when all of these things have come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you cause these things to return to your heart in all the nations where Yahweh your God has banished you, and you return to Yahweh your God and listen to his voice with all your heart and soul, according to all that I am commanding you today, you and your sons. Then Yahweh your God will return you from captivity and return his compassion on you. And he will gather you again from all the peoples where Yahweh your God has scattered you. If those of you who are banished are at the ends of the sky, from where Yahweh your God will gather you, and from there he will take you back. And Yahweh your God will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. Moreover, Yahweh your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed, to love Yahweh your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you may live. And Yahweh your God will inflict all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you. And you shall return and listen to the voice of Yahweh, and you shall do all his commandments, which I am commanding you today. Then Yahweh your God will prosper you abundantly in all the work of your hand, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your cattle, and in the produce of your ground. For Yahweh will return to rejoice over you for good, just as he rejoiced over your fathers, when you listen to the voice of Yahweh your God, to keep his commandments and all, when you return to Yahweh your God with all your heart and soul. For this commandment which I am commanding you today is not too difficult for you, nor is it far from you. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up to heaven for us and get it for us and make us hear it, that we may do it? Nor is it beyond the sea that you should say, who will cross the sea for us and get it for us and make us hear it, that we may do it? But the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, and death and calamity, in that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply, and that Yahweh your God may bless you in the land which you are entering to possess it. But if your heart turns away and you will not listen, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I declare to you today that you shall surely perish. You will not prolong your days in the land where you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess it. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. So choose life in order that you may live, you and your seed, by loving Yahweh your God, by listening to his voice, and by holding fast to him. For this is your life and the length of your days, that you may live in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Chapter 31. So Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel, and he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to come and go, and Yahweh has said to me, you shall not cross this Jordan. It is Yahweh your God who will cross ahead of you. He will destroy these nations before you, and you shall dispossess them. Joshua is the one who will cross ahead of you, just as Yahweh has spoken. And Yahweh will do to them just as he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites, and to their land when he destroyed them. And Yahweh will give them over before you, and you shall do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or be in dread of them. For Yahweh your God is the one who goes with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Then Moses called to Joshua and said to him in the sight of all of Israel, be strong and courageous, for you shall go with this people into the land which Yahweh has sworn to their fathers to give them. And you shall give it to them as an inheritance. And Yahweh is the one who goes ahead of you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. So Moses wrote this law and gave it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and to all the elders of Israel. Then Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, at the time of the year of the remission of debts, at the feast of booths, when all Israel comes to appear before Yahweh your God at the place which he will choose, you shall read this law in front of all Israel in their hearing. Assemble the people, the men and the women and little ones, and the sojourner who is within your gates, so that they may hear and so that they may learn and fear Yahweh your God, and be careful to do all the words of this law. And their children who have not known will hear and learn to fear Yahweh your God all the days you live on the land which you are about to cross the Jordan to possess. Then Yahweh said to Moses, behold, the time for you to die is near. Call Joshua and present yourselves at the tent of meeting, that I may commission him. So Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves at the tent of meeting. And Yahweh appeared in the tent in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood at the doorway of the tent. And Yahweh said to Moses, behold, you are about to lie down with your fathers, and this people will arise and play the harlot with the foreign gods of the land, into the midst of which they are going, and they will forsake me and break my covenant which I have cut with them. Then my anger will be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them and hide my face from them, and they will be consumed, and many evils and troubles will find them, so that they will say in that day, is it not because our God is not among us that these evils have found us? But I will surely hide my face in that day because of all the evil which they will do, for they will turn to other gods. So now, write this song for yourselves and teach it to the sons of Israel. Put it in their mouths, so that this song may be a witness for me against the sons of Israel. For when I bring them into the land flowing with milk and honey, which I swore to their fathers, and they have eaten and are satisfied and become fat, then they will turn to other gods and serve them and spurn me and break my covenant. Then it will be, when many evils and troubles have found them, that this song will answer them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten from the mouths of their seed. For I know their intent which they are developing today, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. So Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the sons of Israel. Then he commissioned Joshua the son of Nun and said, be strong and courageous, for you shall bring the sons of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with you. And it happened, when Moses finished writing the words of this law in the book, until they were complete, that Moses commanded the Levites who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, saying, take the book of the law and place it beside the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your God, that it may be there as a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. Behold, while I am still alive with you today, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. How much more then after my death? Assemble to me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their hearing, and call the heavens and the earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will act corruptly and turn away from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will befall you in the last days, for you will do that which is evil in the sight of Yahweh, provoking him to anger with the work of your hands. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of this song until they were complete. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text this morning. Tomorrow we'll get to hear Moses' song. But as for today, we'll move on to Daily Doctrine. Day 80. What are the implications of being made in the image of God? The importance of the Imago Dei cannot be overstated. Its significance ought to touch every area of life. Let me mention 6 implications of being made in the image of God. Number 1, being made in the image of God, human beings are unique among all God's creatures. We are qualitatively and constitutionally different from plants and animals. We have been made a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned with glory and honor. Psalms chapter 8, verse 5. The high point of all creation was not a mountain, a river, a badger, a beetle, a volcano, a fish, or a star, We were the climax because we alone bear the image of God. Number two, the image of God means that all human beings have inherent worth and dignity. Read that again. Have inherent worth and dignity. This is one reason abortion is wrong. A person is a person no matter how small, no matter her development, no matter his environment, and no matter her degree of dependence on another human being. Innocent human life must be protected, even when that life is old or sick, even when the person wants to end his own life, because every human being is made in God's image, descended from the same human pair. There is no place for racism. Read that again. There is no place for racism, partiality, or feelings of ethnic superiority. Number three, with a proper understanding of the image of God, we can see what it means to be fully human. We live out our deepest identity, not in self-expression or sexual fulfillment, but in obedience to and love for the one who made us. When the serpent told Adam and Eve they would be like God on the day that they ate of the forbidden tree, he lied. They were already like God, made in his image. Number four, the doctrine of the image of God reminds us that the world belongs to God. In the ancient world, a conquering king might put his statue in different locations throughout his realm to make clear that this was his dominion. In the same way, pagan temples in the ancient world always included images of the God who was said to dwell there. Our presence in the world as God's image bearers testifies that this is God's world. The God who made everything does not live in temples made by man. Acts chapter 17, verse 24. We are God's idols spread across the face of the earth. Chapter 17, verse 26. Because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Psalms chapter 24, verse 1. Number five, the image of God in us means that we belong to God. When Jesus asked the Pharisees whose likeness was on the denarius, they said Caesar's. Matthew chapter 22, verses 20 and 21. They should have also stopped to consider whose likeness was on them. Therefore, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Chapter 22, verse 21. Caesar can have his taxes. Human beings belong to God, not to Caesar. Number six, the image of God teaches us how to truly worship. All throughout the Old Testament, God's people were warned not to worship graven images. Exodus chapter 20, verses 4 and 6, and verse 23. The God of Israel could not be seen until one day he was. Read that again. The God of Israel could not be seen until one day he was. Worship now must be focused on Jesus Christ, a man like us, except for sin, the Son of God the Father, and the image of the invisible God. Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. And that's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text and Daily Doctrine. We are greatly challenged this morning and being reminded in these 6 ways of how important it is to remember that we're image bearers of God. And then in the reading from the biblical text, we see God preparing the children of Israel, reminding them that they must serve him and reminding them that he knows that they're going to fail in that. Also giving words of encouragement to Joshua as he's going to lead this great amount of people and this stiff-necked, rebellious people into the promised land, and that he's going to be challenged, but be strong and be courageous. And that's the cry to us this morning as we face the trials of this world. Be strong, be courageous, live for the King, live for the God whom we bear his image. Have a blessed day. Soli Deo Gloria.